This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Last week, we watched Moana.
This week, we watched Southland Tales.
The connection is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Hell yeah, it is.
You may be able to smell what he's cooking, but can you understand it?
No.
No. Welcome to Oldie but a Goodie. It's a podcast where we watch movies and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. My name is Sandro, Zach is my co-host, and this week, as we mentioned in that funny intro, we're reviewing...
Southland Tales.
Yeah, that's right. And, Zach.
I think we have a lot of words that we've been holding back now to talk about Southland Tales, you know?
Yes.
We've been eager to review this one.
I just finished watching this, less than 15 minutes ago.
I've had a couple of hours to digest what I've watched.
This took me, I'm not kidding, for me pressing play initially, this took me 6 hours to get through. I'm the one who chose it, and I'm the reason we're late to record today. So it's kind of,
There's some poetic justice there.
Yeah.
I'll definitely say I took a break halfway through. I took an intermediary, but then I watched the rest of it, and I reached the end. And for that, I am thankful. Sandro, I can summarize this movie in two other movies. You combine them together.
Okay.
And then you add American democracy.
Americanness, yep.
And that's your movie we got here.
Yeah, what? Non-spoilers, and then spoilers, by the way.
Non-spoilers. This is non-spoilers. Yeah. This is absolutely non-spoilers.
All right.
You add Donnie Darko.
I mean, it's the same director and writer, yeah.
You got Donnie Darko, and you got The Fifth Element.
My partner, halfway through the movie, said, this feels like what people think The Fifth Element is.
Yes, absolutely.
Interesting that you said that. All right.
You combine those two together.
Yeah.
You add just the awful American politics system.
Yep.
And then you add a secret ingredient.
Oh, what's the secret ingredient, Zach?
The secret ingredient that I didn't mention earlier? A big pile of fucking shit. A big stinky garbage shit.
Big stinky
this movie
doo-doo.
was shit.
Oh, Zach's coming out strong saying he doesn't like this movie.
It wasn't that bad, but fucking hell.
It's not that bad. It's interesting because this movie was on my list ever since we reviewed Donnie Darko. I was like, really? I need to see what he did next. I need to see what, Donnie Darko was his first movie. I need to see what this director did next. So this was on my list since we did that episode. And honestly...
it's funny you should mention that. Because after seeing Donnie Darko, I didn't think that at all, actually.
You liked it. You gave it a goodie. I gave it an oldie from memory.
I liked Donnie Darko. I didn't go, I need to search for more of this fucking shit.
Well, I wanted to figure out if he's just a bad filmmaker.
Oh, okay.
If... there is some sort of great meaning behind it. And my takeaway from watching Southland Tales is yes to both. Because this movie feels like a prank. This movie feels like he made a movie that's purposefully not very good and very silly to kind of prank everyone, and it worked. I genuinely don't know if this movie is what it is because it's bad, or if it is what it is on purpose.
Ooh.
I can't really tell. I think it's a mixture of the two. I'm fairly certain it's mostly on purpose.
I am more leaning towards the accident. But I think it tried to do both. I think it was trying to be serious at first, and then they were like, this isn't working. Let's pivot to make it a bit more silly. And then we went halfway in between, and it's all over the fucking show. It's a bit wild.
It is all over the shop. So your first impressions are that it was shit.
No, no. My first impressions were that it was part Donnie Darko, part
That was your first impressions.
Fifth Element, part American politics, which is, you know what, very auspicious that you picked this one right now, Sandra. Are you trying to make some sort of statement on the podcast? Are you trying to say something?
How interesting is it that, not to say when we recorded Moana, but I picked this the day before it happened again. So, you know, what can I say? I'm the Jesus in this movie.
You really picked the Trump card there. Because Trump won the presidency. He's a president for the next 4 years.
So you mostly picked this movie because out of all the options I gave you, this one sounded the most intriguing because I described it as a sci-fi movie, which it technically is.
Yeah.
I described it as a sci-fi movie that people have come around on, which they have.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Sandra. All those people are wrong. They are incorrect.
I don't know what I think of this movie. Like, actually, and it's hard to talk about it without spoilers, and, you know, so the non-spoiler section of this is going to be very short. But, like, plot-wise, it's got some really good stuff in it. I think the problem is it's too long.
I was going to say, not even too long, it's too big.
Yeah, too many characters, too many stories.
Yeah, there was too much.
Yeah.
Donnie Darko had just the right level of stories.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you've got these side characters and other things, but you still have your main character, and you're mostly following him, and it's just sort of the characters around that there was a lot of side characters in that story, but it didn't dwell on them a lot. I feel like this movie had too much budget.
It cost... I do want to bring this back, you guessing how much it made, but it did, it cost $17 million, which I think Donnie Darko was relatively independent. Yeah, that cost like 4.5, so much bigger budget. And I mean, like, there's some big names in this movie, like names at the time, and then big names now as well, who like became bigger names. So,
absolutely.
You know,
I hear The Rock's in this movie.
That's why I bloody picked it.
What?
That's why. I mean, you picked it.
No, Sandra, let's be clear on this. You picked this movie. I just happened to choose this movie out of 3 options because someone went, "Oh, it's got a cult following now," and I'm like, "Whoa, that sounds like it's a good movie."
Another coincidence was there was a screening of this in Melbourne 3 days ago.
What?
This was showed in Melbourne. This movie showed at the Lido because Zachary Rowain from Auntie Donna liked this movie, and I talked about it with him a little bit on Instagram.
That's very funny. Okay, I'm back on board. Actually, this is the best movie ever.
And I messaged him about it because I was like, what version should I watch? And he was like, I don't fucking know, man. So...
That's the only good reply. It's like, what version? I don't fucking know, man.
Because, yeah, we should also say we watched the Cannes cut. So there's 2 cuts of this. There's the Cannes Festival cut, which was, everyone hated it when it was screened at the Cannes Film Festival. But that's the version we watched. And then there's the theatrical version, which everyone also hates.
Oh, maybe the theatrical might smooth it out a bit more.
I've heard it's way worse to follow.
Oh, okay. It's even harder? Oh, Jesus.
Well, I mean, it's the same with Donnie Darko. The theatrical cut for Donnie Darko is harder to follow as well, because they cut out all the exposition.
Yeah, but I feel like with Donnie Darko, I was there the whole way. Like... There was a mystery, and I knew I hadn't quite got the pieces of the puzzle, but I knew I was looking at a puzzle.
Yes.
And I had the pieces that colors matched, right? And I knew eventually this would all come together. In this one, it's like I've got like 4 different puzzles, and they've all mixed into the same box, and I'm not sure which puzzle pieces go where for which different puzzle, and I'm pretty sure that whoever made these puzzles was 3 years old and ate half the pieces.
I mean, that's pretty accurate to the writer. I don't want to, like, bully him too much, but yeah, that's pretty...
Trying not to spoil things.
Yeah.
In Donnie Darko... The main plot of the story is given to you at the start. It's like, this is what's happening. Whereas this movie is like, you only hear about the MacGuffin at the very end of the movie.
This is true.
And it's like, oh, that explains this.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely, like, you can, like, I had my theories, like, about halfway through. I was like, I think this is what's happening. And partly with, you know, my partner and I watching this, trying to figure it out. We got, like, maybe about 70% halfway through the movie. But I think that could potentially just be because we were like, this is dumb. Maybe this is happening.
Yeah.
It kind of turned out that it kind of was. But also, yeah, I think that Donnie Darko is easier to figure out, and you can figure it out as you're watching it and look back on it and be like, that makes sense. Whereas with this movie, you can't look back on it and be like, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I liked Donnie Darko.
Yes.
And I liked it a lot more than this one. Like, it's kind of night and day for me for these two. But to be fair, I think it's mostly let down by the characters in this one and some of the writing.
The writing in both movies is rough. I honestly think the jokes in this and the parts that are definitely meant to be funny are funnier in this than they are in Donnie Darko.
Well, Donnie Darko is not meant to be that funny, I feel.
No, it's just accidentally kind of funny because it's not very well written.
Because it's really edgy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But, like, there's, like, some stuff near the end that The Rock does that is hilarious. It feels like it works more in this movie because the whole movie's kind of weird. Whereas with Donnie Darko, it was just like a couple characters would say weird things and then we'd move on and it was normal.
I disagree. I laughed at the jokes not because they were funny, but they were bad. And I guess after watching this movie, I'm not a pimp, Sandro, because of that.
Oh my goodness. Because you do want to...
That's a funny reference to this film. Only true Southland Tales fans will get that reference.
How many fans do you think are out there?
There's a lot.
But how many do you think went and watched this movie when it came out, Zach?
Very little.
On a $17 million budget, what do you think the box office is?
Like $1 million, maybe.
It's 374,000.
Oh my god.
This bombed.
Wow.
The director of Donnie Darko, he did one more movie after this, but he hasn't done anything since, and I genuinely think this is the reason why he can't get anything off the ground.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough, because trying to get people to watch this movie, how the fuck are you going to do that? Anyway, what else can we talk about that's non-spoilery? The acting. The Rock's good in this.
Yep, The Rock's The Rock, you know.
I liked him.
He's a bit more jumpy in this movie, I'll say.
Yeah.
He has this, like, weird, like, scaredness about him. Like, he gets startled a lot by things. And he does this, like, weird hand thing near the end where he does a lot of weird things near the end.
He's not really like... Well, there is a point where he acts like a... Not really a action hero, but more like a spy near the end, where I'm like, that's cool, and that's more the Rock that we see now.
Yes.
But that was also a joke, so that was also kind of funny.
Yeah, right? Like, it's funny, he gets into character.
Yeah.
As a character, getting into character, which is quite amusing. I think he's definitely does the best in the movie.
I really liked Wallace Shawn as the Baron. He was really, like, old and weird and silly, but... Yeah.
That was the only one I was going to mention.
Yeah.
It's a shame that he's in this movie of all movies, because I love him.
There's a lot of, weird performances in this. The main one being Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. As you do. You just got Justin in here.
He's like the narrator, but also a character who... we'll get to that in spoilers, but I think he's important, but also he's not at all, and he could have just been cut from this whole movie.
There was a lot of narration. I guess I liked the narration more in Donnie Darko because it was from the main character, because it's from his perspective, where the narration just is like, we're trying desperately to explain the plot to you because we don't fucking know.
Because, I feel like the narration in this, and also, like, it wasn't really that important. It kind of introduced some characters, but also, you could have taken the narration out, and honestly, the movie probably would have been less confusing.
Yes, I agree. I think it did it a disservice.
Yeah.
Here's the problem, Sandro. It's trying to make it for American audiences, and they're all dumb and stupid and don't understand how movies work. So you gotta really explain it to it. You gotta spell it out for them.
Yeah, you gotta have all the exposition. Yeah. Look, I would have come on here and been like, no, Americans aren't dumb, but no, the majority of them, as we just saw, are very dumb. So,
ooh, big political take by Sandra.
Pew pew pew.
Pew pew pew. Pew.
Well, like, Justin Timberlake, he's here and he's given us all, like, the sci-fi lore and, like, this big corporation's doing this. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And you adding this information's making this movie more convoluted and worse.
Well, that's the bit I was interested in, Sandro.
It's interesting, but make that the movie if you're going to do that.
Yeah,
because none of that was important to what was actually
None of it was
going
important.
on.
There's this whole fucking karma fuel that's out there.
Yeah.
There's, like, all this sci-fi shit, and none of it matters. None of it matters.
Well, some of it matters, but also none of it matters.
None of it matters. Well, there was a lot of fluff, and I do like a bit of fluff. You know me. I like my world buildings. I like my lore, and I did like the world building in this one, even though it was kind of batshit. I was enjoying it, but it was just like, and then we ignore all of that to watch characters say the N-word, and
that was funny. I like that scene. That was so funny. I don't think I've ever actually seen The Rock say the N-word before.
Yeah. Oh, God, that came out of left field.
Well, he was meant to be a racist cop, Zach, so we had to pretend to be racist.
Yeah.
I liked him. So there's a character in this who's like a racist cop. His name is Seann William Scott. He was really good in this. I liked him. He was fun.
Well, he's kind of like a main character-ish. He would have been... Oh, no. You're talking about John Lovitz, right?
Oh, no. Well, John Lovitz is also in this as another racist cop, and he's very good.
Yeah,
he's very, very good in this.
He's great.
That was a jump scare. I had no idea he was in this.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of random, very famous actors in this film.
Like Amy Poehler. What the fuck is Amy Poehler doing in this?
I don't know what anyone's doing here. How did they get conned into doing this?
I don't know. I like how Kevin Smith is in this too as the scientist guy with the beard. And I was like, I know that face. And then he showed up in the credits and I was like, oh, what? Him?
Yeah, but he didn't do anything in the fucking film, though. I think you cut out all of his scenes, and the movie's exactly the same.
But he's the D&D nerd. He's got he's talking in D&D slang.
I know! I don't know what's happening now. It was so confusing to me. Suddenly D&D stuff was being thrown out. I'm like, wait, what? That fucking woke me up.
Yeah, he's talking in D&D jargon to the head of the camp from Wet Hot American Summer, who also doesn't do anything in this movie.
What is going on? What am I watching? I'm so confused, Sandra. I'm so confused.
Are they? I genuinely think they were probably cut out of the theatrical cut. Like, there's a lot of characters here who I'm like, there's no way they show up in the theatrical cut because they do not need to be in this movie.
That's fair, yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. But anyway, I think for the most part, the acting's really good. The problem here is the writing, which is not really a surprise when it's this writer and director.
I don't know. It feel like in Donnie Darko,
yes,
there was no loose ends.
Oh, I disagree a lot.
Well, it was more like there was no loose ends, and then it cut the rope, and then it was a big loose end, right?
Well, Donnie Darko explains all of its loose ends by it was a coincidence.
Yeah. It look, at least tries to shore up the ship. I feel like in this one...
It tries, yes.
I feel like in this one, they don't even bother to tie up anything.
I think the reason they don't bother is because the director always wanted to make more movies. He always wanted to expand on it. He's talked about it for ages. So Southland Tales, it is split up into 3 chapters, but they are chapters 4, 5, and 6. Because whenever a chapter comes up, it's got like the Roman numeral. I don't know if you noticed, but it was 4, 5, and 6. We never actually got 1, 2, 3.
I did notice it at one point, but I didn't care.
It doesn't matter.
I stopped paying attention, yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter, but he was always like, I want to do a prequel, and I'm going to do a sequel, and that never happened.
I would love those just to make this movie more coherent.
I think it would make it worse, honestly.
I disagree. I would watch the prequels.
You would watch
I think
the prequels?
are always good, and never have prequels ruined a franchise, or making movies after prequels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would always be. They're making another Star Wars trilogy. Did you hear about this? Anyway, we're not talking about Star Wars. Zach, we're rating Southland Tales so we can actually talk about the spoilers and figure out what the fuck this movie's about.
Oldie.
Oldie for you? This is going to be an exact reverse then of Donnie Darko.
You're not giving this shit
I enjoyed this. I thought this was fun.
Fuck you. Fuck you for putting this movie in your list and going, oh, it's got a cult following now. God, I'm really excited to see this one. I'm Sanyo and I like Southland Tales. Fuck you.
I don't really like this movie. Like, it's fine. It's okay.
You're just giving this a goodie despite me.
Well, you gave Donnie Darko a goodie despite me, so...
I did not. I will go out and say I enjoyed that movie and I like my theories about that movie. And you know what? Spoilers. I like the time travel aspect of that movie. It makes sense and they go back to it and they reference it and it's a main plot in the fucking movie.
True.
Where in this, it's like, lol, there's a dimensional rift. That's why all of these things are happening. Which, I will admit, I did like. I did enjoy that because I was like, oh, that explains a lot of the shit that's been going on. But for 90% of this movie, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And still, there was a lot of questions at the end, and a lot of the jokes were bad.
I disagree with that.
They were so bad, they were good. When the lady goes, I want to suck your dick.
That was hilarious.
That's your comedy? That's your peak comedy?
I think you were viewing it through the lens of a normal movie, whereas as soon as they introduced the Marxists, I was like, this feels like David Lynch. And so whenever characters would just say random shit like that, I was like, this is a joke. So it's like David Lynch on purpose joke. And that's how I viewed a lot of this. I agree. I don't know what the fuck was going on in this movie, but I liked it. I think maybe.
That's fair. You know what? You know what, Sanjay? I've been very mean for the past 10 minutes, but I did enjoy most of my viewings on this, so maybe I should be less mean.
It's a fun watch. I enjoyed there's definitely some long musical scenes that I would cut. Yeah. It's a fun watch, and I liked the actors, and I liked trying to unravel the mystery and getting it kind of wrong.
Yeah.
But also, there's a lot of problems with it, which makes it interesting for me. It makes it an interesting movie. So I am like, is it an oldie or a goodie? I feel like it's probably an oldie, but I am going to give it a goodie.
Funnily enough, after thinking about it, I probably would watch this again.
Yeah?
Just to try and, watch it again to try and figure it out.
I feel like with the knowledge of what is going on might help it.
It would make it more enjoyable for me, at least.
I feel like this movie is what people think Christopher Nolan movies are, where I'm like,
yes.
You can understand exactly what's going on the first watch.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I felt about Donnie Darko. I feel like I figured it all out by the end, you know?
Oh, yeah. I don't need to rewatch that.
Exactly, right? You don't need to. Whereas, this one, I feel like I would need to watch it a couple of times, you know? And I don't want to do that because it's 2 hours fucking long.
Well, why don't you watch the theatrical cut, which is 20 minutes shorter?
I might.
And I think has different scenes in it.
Ooh.
Anyway, I'm going to give it a goodie because I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, go for it.
And I think it's fun, and I laughed a lot at it, and I think if you... unlike the comedy in Donnie Darko, which I think was cringe and unnatural, the comedy in this is very David Lynchy, which is also cringe and unnatural, but it feels more on purpose. So
that's
more
fair.
A fan of it.
That's fair. I do like David Lynch, so maybe that's what I really needed to do going into this was a David Lynchify myself. But I was just lost for a while.
I said that this was a sci-fi, so you went into it with a very different expectation, which also, it was slightly unfair to call this a sci-fi because it isn't really, but also how the fuck else was I going to say on this?
This is a romance comedy fucking mystery movie.
Mystery is good
that
word,
has
yeah.
sci-fi elements in it, right?
I'd call it a political satire?
Oh yeah, it's a political fucking comedy movie that has some sci-fi elements.
That's true. So an oldie from you and a goodie from me. Now, Zach, it's time to give those oldies and goodies to some taglines. You ready?
Ooh, all right, I'm ready.
Have a nice apocalypse.
No apocalypse really in this movie. There was at the start.
True.
There was a little apocalypse, but then the rest of the movie, is there an apocalypse?
No. We don't know what happened after the end of the movie. So maybe an apocalypse happened after that.
They just killed a bunch of rich Republicans, I think, is the end of the movie. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. There was no apocalypse in the movie I watched.
this is the way the world ends, not with a whimper, but with a bang. That's stolen from something else. It's just a line from the movie. They just use that in the movie, but it's stolen from like a poem or something, I think.
It reminds me of the Star Wars one every time you say it.
Which one?
This is how democracy dies, with thunderous applause.
Oh, yeah. That was a good line, actually. That one line from the movie.
Which is how I think about this movie. It's how democracy dies. So I'm going to give this a thumbs down.
Hell yeah. How about this one? Warning, you are entering a domain of chaos.
You know what? Thumbs up, thumbs up. That's the most accurate statement about any movie we've had so far. I'm glad it comes with a warning. Yeah. I wish you had told me this warning before I watched this film.
That could be fun. Like, I ask you what the tagline is for one of the movies you've picked.
That's a good idea.
That's a fun idea,
that's a good question.
Anyway, and the final tagline is, the internet is the future. The future is just like you imagined.
Nope. Neither of those. One, the internet was not a main feature of this movie.
No.
The internet was just porn. That was all in this movie. It was like, we upload porn. Thumbs down.
Yeah.
Those taglines sucked.
Pretty bad taglines, actually.
To explain this movie. Except for the one that warned you that it was crazy. That one was the most accurate.
But also, like, how the fuck do you market this movie? All the posters suck, too. Because how do you...
Yeah, how do you market this?
How?
You put your celebrities up front and you don't say shit.
You don't say anything about what this is. I want to watch the trailer for this, because I want to
Yeah.
I want to know how they did this. It's a weird movie, anyway.
It is.
Well, yeehaw! This is the ad of a Patreon listener. Hello, I'm Sally McSeller, and Sandro and Zach have lost their minds because they want me to sell to you a new episode on patreon.com/Oldie Buddy Goodie Pod, which is, let me get this right, them reviewing the Twilight parody movie Vampires Suck. I'm gonna need to listen to a clip before recommending this one to you. What has happened with Vampires Suck is we've got two people who hate Twilight making a movie about how much they hate Twilight for teenage boys.
Yeah.
All the jokes in this movie are for boys.
It is a weird genre movie where it's made for the haters of the specific popular genre.
Like, all the jokes in this are violence, which is funny for teenage boys.
Yep.
All the jokes in this are boob-related.
Oh, a lot of booba.
And all the other jokes in this are either like pop culture references for the time, or they're just like, haha, Twilight sucks.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which is that's not how you make a good parody movie.
It's weird because to get a lot of the jokes in the movie, you had to have watched the movie, but also not liked the movie.
Yes.
It's such a weird juxtaposition.
Okay, yeah, no, that one actually sounds pretty funny. Well, Sandro and Zach, they're back on the Twilight train again, and they did, Vampires Suck, and it sounds like a fun time that you can get right now over on patreon.com/Oldie Buddy Goodie Pod. You can get all of the bonus episodes there, as well as a bunch of ad-free content, and there's some polls, and it's just a fun time. Go there. Very fun. Not like the vampire movie. That sounded kind of bad. Yeehaw! I'm an American, not a werewolf. Alright, spoilers. Officially spoiler time. Zach, I've got a theory for you.
Oh, yeah?
We can go through the plot of this, and I'm sure that we will, but just like our Donnie Darko episode, we go do some theories. And my big theory of this movie is, you may think that this is just by the director and writer of Donnie Darko, but it's not at all related to Donnie Darko. Well, Zach, here's the thing. Did you notice certain posters in the background of this movie?
Nope.
It's Frank the Rabbit on heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of It's honestly very obvious that there's heaps of posters of Frank the Rabbit.
I wasn't paying attention.
That's fair. There's heaps of posters of Frank the Rabbit in this movie, Zach. This is what happened if Donnie Darko did not die.
Whoa!
Yeah.
If Donnie Darko didn't die, the world ended and people watched porn.
I don't know. Frank the Rabbit's in this. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, no. I get what you're saying. Because it does have exactly the sort of timey-wimey stuff.
It does.
But we only learned about at the very end.
Yep.
Because there's fucking rift, and the rift is pretty. You could say is the thing that killed Donnie Darko,
That's right.
or didn't, depending.
Or did it? Well,
yeah.
It depends what Donnie Darko law we're going by. If we're completely ignoring the sequel, which you should.
I mean, yes, because the sequel was nothing.
The sequel was terrible. Patreon.com/Oldie for that one.
I mean, you could also incorporate the sequel.
I don't think the sequel. I think the sequel ruins. From memory, the sequel ruins all our theories for the Donnie Darko. I can't remember.
It makes it like an alien invasion sort of thing.
Oh, that's right. They're
And
aliens.
other things. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe all like the Baron and all of his men are aliens.
They seem pretty fucking alien to me.
Yeah. They are very alien in this whole... As soon as they were introduced, I was like, what the fucking Hunger Games is this?
Yeah. They do look like the fucking Hunger Games, like, announcer people, the fucking rich people in their weird fucking wacky costumes. It was pretty great.
I agree.
I was down for it.
So we should go through what happened in this. So let's start at the end. Give that exposition, and then try and figure out what happened here. So
we're going to try and explain this movie to someone?
Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Southland Tales. If you want to sound like you've watched it, here's what you got to say. So 9/11 happened.
Yep.
9/11 happened, and then Fallout happened.
Yeah. This is a post-Fallout America.
Technically. But not like radioactive Fallout. Socioeconomic fallout.
Whoa!
Yeah.
There was a nuke, apparently. We saw a video.
And maybe a war?
Maybe. We don't know. We're just seeing the aftermath where it's like regular America, but it's way more extreme.
Yeah, way more extreme. There's the liberals, those bloody motherfuckers.
Liberal cucks.
Yeah.
And they make porn, and they date porn stars because they're cucks.
They're called the neo-Marxists in this movie.
Oh, yeah, they really love Karl Marx. Oh, my fucking God, I forgot about that. Oh, my fucking God.
And then you got no, it's not really Democrats or and Republicans or whatever. This movie is more Marxists and then capitalists is actually what this movie is.
Yeah. Well, it's got both in it, I think, right? There's both, because they're trying to rig the elections as well.
The Marxists are trying to rig... Well, the point is that they're both horrible.
Yes. You've got both extremes.
Yes, the two extremes.
I wish we had more of a middleman or something, or a middle woman just in the middle to be like, hey, both of these guys are dumb.
I guess that's kind of the point, though, is that we don't, because that doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Especially in America. It doesn't exist now, so why would it exist?
That's fair. But I think that's dumb, and people should think more instead of being one or the other.
It's not going to happen, though.
No, it's becoming increasingly more like you're either with us or against us, which is a very dumb take.
Which is a dumb take, but that's what's happening. And also, this movie kind of predicted it. No, it's been happening since fucking the 70s.
Southland Tales predicted the future. It's so big brain, actually. Actually, I'm going to be a cult follower for this movie because I have agreements with the whole political thing in it.
So what happened was the fallout, potentially a world war. America was like, we're going to be we're going to watch everything that everyone's doing, which is what they're doing anyway, but they were doing it in this movie in a way more suspicious way.
It's like more police statey.
Yeah. But also that was the weird thing about this movie, was it was trying to be like, look at how bad America will get. And I was like, but it's honestly not that far off.
I feel like modern day America right now, I feel like this movie aged poorly because modern day America's worse than how this movie depicts.
It's worse than what this movie... I agree.
Yeah, that's definitely a unfortunate problem with this movie.
This movie was like, oh my God, look at this. There's a racist cop and another racist cop just shot two innocent people. And I'm like, that's not really shocking. I kind of expect it when a cop shows up now.
I mean, yeah.
Particularly when they're American.
It's true.
I guess the only thing in this movie that felt really extreme was maybe the snipers on every rooftop.
Yeah, the snipers. Well, that's what I liked. I liked that bit at least for the sort of police statiness of it.
I agree.
Yeah, I definitely think this has suffered the passage of time. It's like old horror movies, right?
Yeah, it's not really scary anymore, yeah.
Where it's like real life politics are somehow worse than the ones in these films. And it's like, what?
They kind of a little bit are, though, a little bit, actually. So,
yeah. We live in a society.
We do live in a society.
Bottom text.
So that was a whole part of it. They're censoring the internet or whatever, and so all the porn stars are out on strike. I liked how it's like, yeah, the porn stars are like, they've got their own reality TV show and they're all they're all pop stars. I was like, yeah, it's true. But on top of that, Zach, the Americans may be doing that, but also some other random Americans have shown up, and they have Karma, which is a renewable energy source or some shit.
Yes, it's like slightly explained at the start, and then just kind of there for the rest of the film.
Yep.
In the background, they'd be like, "Hey, we figured out infinite energy. Don't worry about it." It's just not a feature in the film. There's like things that run off it. And it's funded by the military, and that's why the military's there, which is in this film a lot.
Well, the military bought it?
Yeah. So the military owns it, and it's there, but...
Yeah.
And so we see a lot of the military. We don't get any explanation after that as to how the karma works or whatever.
No, well, not really, no. We know the effects of karma, but that's really the only thing we know. We don't really know how it works.
It's just like a bit of world building. I really wish like we had more vehicles that we use
That'd be cool.
Use karma.
Yeah.
We like the karma came up. It's like maybe instead of $1 million, they want like a source of karma, right?
Well, karma can also be used as a drug, apparently. You can also shoot up with karma and your vision turns into the fate snakes from Donnie Darko.
Ooh,
so,
yeah. Except your hand's glowing because you masturbate. I mean,
no, that was only that one guy because he needed to shake hands with his...
I know, because he needed to find his self.
I was also thinking that for a lot of the movie.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make a masturbation joke.
Yeah, there was that one scene where they were like dramatically like shaking hands and we got close-ups on their face and we could just like see their elbows moving, and I was like, this feels like they're doing something else. Just kind of ruined the moment a little bit for me there at the end. Anyway.
It's funny.
But fluid karma is like, and this is a part that I didn't understand. The people who created karma, are they capitalists or are they Marxists? What is the Baron? Or is the Baron been taken over by all the money and power that this deal with the military has gotten him, that they became capitalists?
I think...
Like, what are they? What are these people?
I think him specifically, and here's just my thing. I think he's capitalist / Republican by happenstance.
Yeah.
And is just kind of there for the money and is playing all sides. Because he does deals with the other ones,
He does
right?
deals with the Marxists as well,
He like funds the neo-Marxists or whatever it is, right?
Does he or does other people who are with him do it? Is he involved? Because he seems pretty shocked at the end when he realizes certain stuff has happened.
Well, he like funds the cartel portion, which they were working with for a while.
Yeah.
But then the cartel portion betrayed the main character guys and then started shooting people for some reason. I don't know.
Because they were extremists.
Yeah, they were there in the movie at the end. I don't know what the fuck they were doing. But they were helping the porn stars for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was paying them to help the porn stars. But then he was like, haha, you can betray them now. But he didn't know about all the other stuff that was going on in the behind scenes. He was just like giving them money, you know. They were on his payroll, as it were.
I was just kind of confused because like they try to help Dwayne Johnson. Like he doesn't, but the others try to help The Rock. And I'm like, okay, are they the good guys then? Or are they just like, what are they? It's never really explained, which is fine. I'm fine with them not explaining that. Anyway, basically what happened with fluid karma was it was to fix climate change.
Yeah.
And to fix climate change, they slowed the rotation of the Earth so slowly. They slowed it down so much that they ripped holes in the fabric of space and time. Which is a very cool idea.
So, going back to Donnie Darko, right, is the rip to a time before the apocalypse happens, right? So they slow down the Earth and it makes a rip in time that sends back before they slowed down the Earth, right?
All right.
And it caused problems with the whole timeline, not just where they are in it, right?
Maybe.
And that's when it affects Donnie Darko, and it's like a rip in his space of time, but he like fixes the rift, as it were.
He does.
By dying.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't, up to interpretation, right?
Yeah.
Like, And as you say, there's a universe where this all happens and a universe where it doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. And I think you're onto something there. Absolutely.
So what they did was they saw this portal and they put the rock in it.
Whoa. First, we put a few monkeys in it. Why? It's just a line.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so they put a few monkeys in it, and then they were like, all right, we've done that. Let's put a few humans in it now.
So they put in the rock. He's driven into the portal by Cop Man.
Yeah, racist cop.
Racist Cop Man, who has PTSD from the war because he shot one of his friends, who I think, and this only occurred to me at the very end, I'm pretty sure, because he's always like, I shot my friend, and at the very end is like, him telling himself, I forgive you, friendly fire. I forgive you, friendly fire.
Yeah.
I think the person he shot was Justin Timberlake, right? That's what it's implied, because he has the scar.
Maybe. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. I didn't make that connection, but that makes sense.
Because I think Justin Timberlake introduced him at some point as my friend in, like, the narration. But then why the fuck is Justin Timberlake narrating this movie? His character does nothing.
I don't know why he's in the movie. I don't know why at some point in the movie it just takes a break to film a music video.
Oh, that was bad.
And I went, what?
That was bad. That was real bad.
What am I watching? What has Sandro picked? I would have rather done the James Corden movie. Like
Into the Woods? Into the Woods is worse than this and way more confusing.
Yeah, but it would have been really funny to inflict it on Sandro.
That's pretty
I feel
true.
like this is preemptive revenge for something that didn't happen. You're getting revenge for someone in a different timeline. You went through a time rift.
No, I'm still getting revenge for you making me watch Armageddon. That's what I'm doing.
Hey, look, I suffered with you there, man. I didn't like Armageddon either. Like,
I'm interested to see what you've picked and how many of them are to piss me off.
Oh, Sandro. I will have my revenge for this
no,
week.
I'm very
I will
worried.
have my revenge. Maybe not this week, Sandro. But one of these weeks, there's not going to be one bomb. There's going to be 3 bombs. And you will have to choose your demise.
So they put the rock through, and then it turns out, and this is fucking hilarious, that when you send something through the portal, it actually travels back in time 69 minutes. Which I don't know what all the 69 stuff was about. I'm pretty sure it's just a joke on how our society is obsessed with sex, yet also obsessed with censoring sex at the same time. Pretty sure that's what it was a joke on.
But so then I do like this. This is the bit where I'm interested in. And the problem, I think the real reason is that, like, I'm here for the timey-wimey stuff.
Yes.
And in Donnie Darko, it gives it to you straight away.
Yeah.
In this, it only waits till the very end.
Yeah.
So it really didn't captivate me. It needed to, like, dangle it like a carrot.
Yes.
For me to be, like, more invested in the film. Instead, it just gave me the carrot at the end. And I was very surprised to get the carrot. I was like, oh, this is a great carrot. I like this carrot. Yum, yum, yum. Thank you for this carrot. I wish you had told me about this carrot earlier, though, because I didn't care for the rest of it.
I think potentially, like, I was watching this trying to figure out what was going on in terms of, like, a mystery from the start. So I was, like, trying to... Because my partner had a theory, which I genuinely was like, this actually might be what's happening. And I'll get to it later, but kind of having that theory early on and then watching the movie made it more engaging for me.
Yeah, I should have tried to theorize more. I was just trying to piece together the plot. I wasn't trying to theorize about it. That was the problem for me.
That's the problem, is, like, this movie's just, in general, hard to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. I was just struggling to follow characters for a long while.
There's so many, and none of them are important, really.
No, and a lot of them have a lot of bad lines. They are funny, though. It is funny. It is very funny. Anyway, Dwayne meets himself.
Yeah. We don't see this, by the way. This is just explained to us.
No, this is off screen, which is a shame. I would have liked to see that, like, a flashback or something, anything. Come on. We do get some cool stuff at the end, but, like, I wish we could have seen a bit more sci-fi. And then, but he meets himself, apparently. And then his past self killed himself.
Yes.
Before going through the portal. They said that his future self survived and his past self died.
Yeah.
And she said she blew up the car after he went through the portal? So how did they have his past self?
They would have sent his future self back in time to meet his past self and then gotten... Like, they
then killed his past self before he even walks through the portal.
Maybe.
But they also blew up the car, apparently, except Roland Taverner survived.
The racist cop man. Well, yeah, because he also then went through the portal, and now there's 2 versions of him running around.
But there's 2 versions of him, but only 1 version of The Rock.
Yeah, because one of the versions of The Rock is dead.
That's the bit I'm confused about. If they blew up the car, which is what they said they did.
Yeah. One of the versions of The Rock is dead, and in a box, and they have his thumb, which is very important, because everyone loves to steal each other's thumbs in this movie, which is very funny.
Oh my god, they're fucking everywhere. There's fucking... Apparently, you can't even open a grocery door without having a fucking finger pattern recognition thing.
I mean, it's incorrect about modern society, but also, is it really that incorrect, Zach?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it is.
But it's a cool prediction.
I liked the part where, like, all of the Marxists have, like, bags of thumbs so that they can fake vote.
Yeah. That was cool.
Funny.
That was a fun bit of world building. Very funny. Also, a random Japanese businessman gets his hands chopped off at the start of the film. Why? You won't figure out for a while.
That opening was hilarious, and I think, like, brought me into, like, that was when I was like, I'm on this movie's wavelength. Here we go.
I did laugh. I did think it was funny. I was also a bit mad because I didn't know what the fuck was going on, though.
That's pretty fair. So, The Rock is back in time now. His past self is dead somehow.
Yes.
And he's also got amnesia, and he's also got the plot of a movie in his head that, spoilers, is real.
Yes.
Somehow.
Well, I think he's got amnesia, but his amnesia isn't, like, both him and the cops' amnesia is, like, not fully there. It's like, they're getting the memories back.
Yes.
And how Dwayne's got it immediately back is he writes a script, which is literally just his memories, but he doesn't realize it yet.
And because the military sent him through the portal, the military still have him, and they're, like, he's now hanging out with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who was a porn pop star with a reality show. She's so funny in this movie. I thought she was great.
She is ridiculous.
I loved the song. I loved the teenager horniness song was great. I loved how much product placement she's got of herself all the time.
Oh my god, yeah. I love that just characters will be randomly holding a can with the picture of her facing the camera at all times.
It's very funny.
It was pretty funny.
She gets some great lines in this too. She's very good in this movie. I kept getting confused because there are a lot of white people in this movie, and she is of course white, and I did keep getting confused as to which white lady was her because she kept swapping the wigs constantly throughout the movie, and I was like, wait, is that Buffy? I don't know who's who anymore.
Yeah. I didn't recognize her right at the very end for a little bit. Not until Dwayne walked up to her, and I was like, "Oh, right, that's the fucking lady from earlier." Oh shit,
yeah.
Because of the whole wig thing, but yeah, it definitely. I was like, "What the fuck? What is going? Why do we have a porn star as a character? Like, what is going on?" But it was very funny when they were like, hey, what if we take a morning after pill, but then we use a plane to travel back in a time zone? Then it's a morning before pill.
That was like, so funny.
Oh my god. Mind blown. We gotta bring this up to Congress. That was pretty funny.
So then The Rock is used in a scheme to get money from the capitalists, which is... The Marxists use him, and by the way,
Marxists like kidnap him.
I don't think they kidnap.
They use Sarah to like seduce him,
and tell him to do a ride along with the cop who also has amnesia that they've also got because they're using them both to do a fake double homicide that The Rock captures on camera, and then he's there so that then they can blackmail.
Yeah, because the neo-Marxist manages to like kidnap both of them.
Yes.
But instead of being like, whoa, we've got two of the same person that exist in this, like, the ramifications of...
The people who sent them through the portal are the ones who were helping the Marxists with this, though, right?
No, yeah, that's right. But the Marxists have clearly betrayed somewhat.
Yeah.
The powers that be in this situation, right?
Or have they? Da-da-da.
Yeah, it's all over the fucking show. I'm getting a fucking headache trying to explain this fucking movie. But
Yeah.
they kidnap Dwayne and fucking Seann, and they're like, hey, instead of this incredible discovery of time travel and all this fucking bullshit, whatever, we're just going to try and use you guys to extort $1 million from the fucking rich people.
Yeah, from the guy who's running for president.
Yes.
Which they do by The Rock filming himself on a ride-along with Seann William Scott that then turns into a shooting.
Yeah.
And then he's on camera at a shooting, so they blackmail him with that. Because the guy who wants to be president is Dwayne Johnson's father-in-law.
Father-in-law. Yeah. So not only they have this innocent shooting, which goes wrong, I think, because
It does go wrong, yeah.
he actually kills them.
Because John Lovitz shows up out of nowhere and then actually kills them, but that wasn't gone wrong for what's her name? One of the Marxists actually planned for that to happen.
Oh, really?
The bad one. I don't remember her name.
Yeah. I thought it still went wrong, but she just didn't care. Zora
That's the one.
Charmchicles or whatever.
I liked as well the way that the capitalists are portrayed in this is like they're all like white rich people, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the way that the Marxists are portrayed in this they're also white. They're just overweight lesbians.
Yeah.
It's just the cliches.
It's just cliches, yeah. But yeah, they have this whole shootout thing, but they also, I believe, have filmed Sarah and Dwayne having sex.
Oh, yeah.
And that was another thing they were trying to blackmail them with, potentially.
And then after that point, the movie, like, all that stuff was like, okay, I know what's going on, I can follow this. But then we get, like, the Mega Zeppelin shit, which is like, what's going on here? I don't know what's happening here.
Well, the
like,
Mega Zeppelin was the only bit that, like, sort of came back from the start, because we saw it at the start with the Karma stuff. And again, it's very sort of Fifth Element-y, the ending with the Zeppelin and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, because they go up in the Zeppelin. The Rock's in the Zeppelin trying to figure out what's going on. It's like, you're the time travel. And he's like, no. And then he starts acting like James Bond, which is very funny.
Yes. Yeah.
For no reason. He just starts acting like James Bond. Meanwhile, Seann William Scott, both versions of him run into each other.
Yes.
And they have the handshake that will end the world.
Yes.
Which is not, it's just a handshake that they have a handshake in an ice cream truck, which levitates the ice cream truck above the ground. And then on top of the ice cream truck is this young guy who was just trying to move out of America. He was just trying to leave the country.
Well, he was also just trying to kill himself, that happens. Because he gets drafted and he's like, man, fuck that shit. And the other guy's like, oh yeah, I was in Iraq. That shit sucked. And he was like, you were? How'd you get out? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it.
I can't remember. I've got amnesia.
That's true.
So he's on top of the ice cream truck with a bazooka, and then he's like, wouldn't it be funny if I blow up the Zeppelin? So he blows up the Zeppelin, and then he kills himself. That's the end of the movie.
Well, no. Because the guy on the ground tells him to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Who the fuck was that guy?
He kept showing up like he's an actor that we should recognize. And I was like, who is this man?
No, but he was important to the plot, but I don't... There's like an unseen hand throughout this movie sort of guiding events, but it's never explained what. I feel like if there was a prequel or a sequel, it could explain a lot more of the holes in this movie.
Well, we also get Dwayne Johnson's mother-in-law.
Yes.
Who is the head of the NSA.
Yes.
Who is kind of like spying on everyone. She doesn't really do anything. She gets killed near the end. She doesn't do anything.
She does not.
But we keep cutting to her like it's important. It's not. And it's not even that funny. Her stuff is like, honestly, could have cut all that.
Yeah.
Not important.
That's fair. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's another loose end, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's just a lot of, like, stories which are in this that don't have a, like, solid connection. And there was a lot of, like, planning a sequel where it's like, here's how I tie this into the story. And there was a lot of things where it's like, later on I'll come back and tie this together. That, of course, because it flopped, he's not going to come back and tie it all together.
Apparently he's still working on it.
Look, I would love him to do it.
He's also still working on a Donnie Darko sequel, though, so who knows?
I would love for things to be tied up a bit more.
Yeah, I agree.
And these random threads, because I feel like that was his design. The problem is, there's a bad way to design movies. You shouldn't design movies to have sequels.
This is true. Unless it's part 1, part 2. But that only really works for adaptations.
Yeah, there's exceptions to this always, but generally you shouldn't. Like, obviously, like Avengers Endgame, you know, that was...
Yeah. I mean, any superhero movie you can, you know, they can always continue.
But what about a mummy movie, Sandro? Should you build a mummy series with the intention of making sequels?
You should not make a Tom Cruise mummy movie, and the only intention of that movie is to introduce Russell Crowe doing a bad accent as Dr. Jekyll, and then never, ever return to that.
We're going to make a monsterverse, and then actually everybody doesn't give a shit about your monsterverse.
No one cares. Yeah, I reckon you're right. Like, with Donnie Darko, that felt like ambiguous on purpose, whereas in this movie, it's ambiguous because the movie was too long and he couldn't put anything else in it to finish the story.
Yeah. I feel like Donnie Darko wrapped itself up a bit.
It did. I don't know which one I prefer, but Donnie Darko, it is more of an airtight... It's not an airtight script, but it's more airtight than this.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I would say so. It doesn't necessarily make it better, it just means I like it a bit more.
Yeah, because you're like, I know what's going on, and, you know, it seems more intentional. Yeah, for sure.
It feels more intentional. But that's why I would actually like more of this one.
Yeah.
To wrap up all the things and, like, tie up all the threads together so it's one cohesive thing. I feel like I'm looking at the middle of a, like, really complicated knot. And the, like, loops at the end would be good, and then the whole thing would be great, and then you'd have, like, a 3-hour cut of Southland Tales 2, and pre-tales. Like, whatever, you know, the three fucking... Your 3 movies that sort of tie in together would make this one better. But the problem is, it's still not great.
I agree with this. I think, though, like, that's part of why I liked this, though, was because it doesn't really add up, and it doesn't make sense, and it feels like we're looking at something through someone's... Like, it feels like we're in the director's mind, but he's not very good at explaining what he's thinking.
Yeah.
He's not very good at, like, actually explaining what he's thinking, but he's got ideas, and it feels like a little bit like we're watching The Room. It feels a little bit like we're watching something that's like, you've got ideas, but I don't know what the fuck is going on in your head to figure out what is going on.
Yeah. They have not translated as well. It's someone's trying to tell you a story, but they're struggling to tell it. But the story itself isn't bad.
Yeah.
It's just they struggled to get it out in a cohesive manner.
Which I think might be why I prefer this over Donnie Darko, because it's a worse movie. Because it reminds me of, like, a Neil Breen film, for example. I don't know if you've seen that. Oh, yeah, like The Room, where it is a worse movie, so I'm trying to figure out what happened and what he's trying to do, while also trying to figure out what's happening in the movie at the same time. Maybe that makes it more interesting for me, and I just like bad things. I don't know.
Yeah, no. That's a very fair take. But I definitely think I prefer Donnie Darko. I think I liked the themes a bit more, and I was expecting a bit more sci-fi, and I'm a little let down by the film. But that's mostly Sandro's fault. It's actually all Sandro's fault that I hate this film.
It's interesting, though, like, this movie is not listed as a sci-fi on Wikipedia. It's a dystopian black comedy thriller, whereas on Google...
It's sci-fi comedy.
A sci-fi comedy.
Yeah.
I think thriller's actually pretty on point.
Yeah.
Maybe. I like mystery, though.
It's funny that it's such a weird movie that different places are categorizing it differently because no one understands what category it should be in. That's great, actually.
I don't think there's much else really to talk about. There's some other characters that we can get into, but, like, my theory, not my theory, my partner's theory, I shouldn't take credit for this, was that The Rock, the 2 versions of Seann William Scott and Justin Timberlake were all the same person.
Oh.
Because there's scenes in this where, like, Justin Timberlake will pass out and then Seann William Scott will wake up at, like, the same time. And, like, cuts from one to one. They're all, like, all 4 characters are, like, saying the same sort of things.
Yeah.
Which is because they've time traveled. But we were like, they're the same person.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Their souls are connected, because it talks about their souls, right? So, as you're saying, one passes out, the other wakes up. Maybe the soul is moving into them.
Or it was like they're all like alternate reality versions of each other. That was something else that we were thinking about.
Yeah.
Because there's also that weird point where we see the Rock at the top of the Zeppelin, and then we see the Rock going into the Zeppelin. And I was like, are there two rocks just in the Zeppelin? No, it was this. Well, there were two rocks in the Zeppelin. But not in the way that we thought it was. It was just kind of like bad, confusing editing.
God fucking damn, I can't believe that. So stupid.
And that was the theory that we were like going with for a bit, which, yeah, it turned out to not be true. But, I mean, it also kind of turned out to be true a little bit, though.
I think there's a merit to this. I think their souls might be intertwined.
Yeah.
And what happened is when you go into the rift, it kind of tangles up your souls a bit. And they kind of become a bit more like lucid after a while.
Yeah.
And it's because like their souls are kind of untangling a bit, you know?
I like that.
But they're still tangled together, which is why they're all sort of coming together a bit, you know, for the ending where it's like, oh, hey, the two of the fucking cop character has literally collided with each other because destiny has them tangled so tightly together that they literally collide to each other on the road, and they come together, and like the rock is in the building that they blow up, you know, like it's all connected in a way because they're sort of intertangled now with each other. Mm-hmm. There's something there, Sandra. I think you're onto something.
But the only loose end is Justin Timberlake, because he's not important.
What is he in this? Why is he in this film? He, like, knows the, like, guy who got drafted and blew up the Zeppelin, and he has a music video, and he does drugs, because his dad's the surgeon of that guy, but, like, none of it matters, none of it comes back, none of it does anything. It's like, that's a character where the whole backstory had better be Justin fucking Timberlake, all right? The prequel better be all Justin Timberlake. He better be the main character. I better have at least 5 different dance scenes in my prequel.
Well, that was a part of the theory that Justin Timberlake and Dwayne Johnson are the same person, because when the kid who gets drafted goes to buy drugs from Justin Timberlake, he's like, I like your movies. And we were like, this guy's just a war vet. The Rock's character is a superstar. Are they the same person? And we were like, oh. Because Justin Timberlake's character, it's never mentioned that he's in movies, aside from that one scene, and he's not an important character, and he does nothing. So I don't know what he's in this for. I have no idea why he's in this movie.
It's interesting, yeah. He's got connections, but he's more in for the voiceover and other things.
Such a bad voiceover, too. It's so awful.
I wasn't huge on it either. I don't mind Justin. I don't mind his voice. I just think, as we mentioned way earlier, that it was just like, it made it more confusing than it needed to be.
I'm trying to think of anything else in this movie to mention. There's definitely a lot that we could talk about, but for the sake of the episode...
when the lady tased the guy's balls...
That was pretty funny.
I died. Comedy died as well. Like, everything just died inside me. It was funny, but in a tragic way, I feel. Like, this is the lowest form of humor I could imagine in this scenario.
I liked how in Donnie Darko, the writer came up with, like, go suck a fuck and shit like that. That's still in this movie. We've got, what was it? It was like Cock Guzzler. No, what was it? The name of that one porno that she's in that keeps coming back. I forget what it's called.
Cock Chuggers 2.
That's the one.
You bloody cock chugger, you.
Yeah. And then they start, like, using it as, like, an insult. I'm like, that's so stupid. There's that one part where the Baron has got an ad for his new car, and we watch it, and it's just CGI car porn.
Oh my god, what the fuck was that fucking scene? Why was it on my screen? Why did that play? That took me so out. That's where I paused the film, Sandro.
That's fair.
That's where I paused the film and had a break. I remember that. I completely forgot about that because I erased it out of my mind. How have we not talked about that already?
Exactly.
Holy fuck. That was traumatizing.
The punchline for that bit was like, this car coming soon.
What is the rating on this film? MA-15 plus. This should be R-rated just for that scene.
That's true. We do actually see a car penis going inside.
That car had a penis, and that lady car had a vagina. That was just porn. We actually just watched porn.
But it was cars, and it looked like a weird YouTube animation.
Yeah, it looked like one of those, like, fucking fake bowling videos that people have made.
It did look like that.
Those terrible cursed GIFs.
Yeah.
Like, that was a cursed car GIF if ever there was one.
It's true. That is 100% not in the theatrical cut too, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's funny also because it's made by the rich white people.
It is. But for the European market, Zach. One other joke I really liked was directly halfway through the movie, and I know because I paused it, directly halfway through the movie, we get a sad montage to a Muse song where everyone is, like, saying dramatic things and it's raining and looking off into the rain, and it's I found that so funny when I paused it, and I was like, this parody of a sad montage, because it felt like a parody of other movies. This parody of a sad montage that would usually be in the middle of a movie is literally slap bang in the middle of this movie. I thought that was very funny. And also the scene where The Rock, his wife, and everyone are in the house, and they're all like, but I have a baby with that guy. And then, like, the lightning strikes.
Yeah.
It's so funny. There's some very funny stuff in this movie, but the problem is it's too long. It's so long.
And I'm still thinking about car sex. Like, I can't get over that. Like, I absolutely suppressed that memory, and you bringing it up has traumatized me again.
If your connection is car sex, I'll be very impressed.
Absolutely it is.
Oh my god, you picked David Cronenberg's Crash. Well, I reckon we talking about car sex now, Zach, and there's no going on in our review from that, so we may as well wrap it up and move on to the rest of the episode.
Yeah, you're right. That's fair enough. Thank you for picking this one, Sandro. Thank you.
I think this episode is a good learner guide to Southland Tales, because we talked about what the plot actually is, and now people can go and watch it and be like, oh, that makes sense, actually. I think this episode is very educational, and I liked it.
That car video was very educational. All right. Enough of that. Enough of that.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
There are known knowns, known unknowns, and unknown unknowns. But there are also unknown knowns. The ancient and esoteric Order of the Jackalope is a secret society devoted to unearthing and sharing this forgotten knowledge. Each episode, we take one of these strange stories and share it with you. No topic is off limits, except for the obvious. Available wherever fine podcasts are sold.
It's time for raving reviews.
Oh my gosh.
I'm in charge.
Yeah.
That's a reference to the Patreon. I've got quite a few reviews, so I'm just gonna speed through it because I thought the reviews were rather funny. There was a lot of them. I probably should have cut out a few, but fuck it.
I don't care. This movie was too long. The segment can be too long.
Absolutely, everything's gonna be too long. How this works is Sandra is gonna get read a review. The review is from Rotten Tomatoes because why not? And it's from the audience score because everyone knows that reviewers are corporate shills.
That's correct. They certainly are.
So this first review is from Matthew, who speaks for me specifically when he says, "My God, what did I just watch?" Laughing, crying emoji. 2 hours I can't get back now. This film got a cult following, but yet actually good movies are ripped apart by fans and critics alike. Wow.
I like how this person's like, why does this movie have a cult following? That's very funny. Because that's you.
That's the first one I saw. And I was like, yeah, because Sandro conned me into fucking watching this because of this stupid cult following.
This movie does have a very small, I think, cult following.
And you're part of it, Sandro.
No,
you're part of the cult.
No,
you're
I'm not.
part of the problem. You gave this movie a goodie, Sandro. You're in, whether you like it or not. You're part of the cult.
I guess I am then. This review is going to be a 1.
It's 2.5.
Oh, that's higher than I expected.
2.5.
What the fuck am I going to rate this on Letterboxd? I have no clue.
Oh, Sandro, just you wait, because all the reviews are great for this.
All right.
The next reviewer did not have a username, but they said, I regret spending almost 3 hours watching this movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
The acting is poor, the plot is completely unclear, and if there was a higher meaning to all this crap, I surely didn't get it.
Interesting. That one might be the one, because that one seems a lot more less. Like, the first review was like I can see things that are good in this, whereas that review was a fuck this movie.
So, remember, it can go to 0.5 as well.
Oh, true. It is Letterboxd. I feel like a 0.5 is going to be all caps and...
Yeah, it's true. It is Rotten Tomatoes, after all.
I'm going to go 1.
It is 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
It is 1 out of 5. You didn't get steered away by my little, but remember there's 1.5.
No, I didn't. I'm dabbing, though.
The next, fuck you. The next user didn't have a username either, and they said, very unfair treatment of this movie by the critic.
The critic.
Though it took me 5 viewing to determine if genius or pure garbage.
That's too many.
I vote for genius.
That's too many. Of course, this is my problem with like people who like Zack Snyder movies. Of course, if you've watched it 10 times, you're going to like it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just how it works.
Exactly. It's a bad movie if you have to watch it 5 times. I'm just saying.
It is a bad movie if you have to watch it over. I think 2 times is the okay amount. If you have to watch a movie twice, that's fine. Any more than that, no. Bad movie.
Do you know what this is? This is what people get when they're a hostage, you know, and they've been a hostage for too long. They start liking their hostage takers. What's that called?
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah. What you're describing right now is you have Stockholm Syndrome for this movie because you've watched it too many times.
More like Stockholm Tales. Am I right?
Anyway, what did they rate this?
5 out of 5.
It's 4 out of 5, Sandro.
And you didn't even give it a
4
5. You watched
out
it
of
5
5
times. You watched this movie 5 times.
I love these reviews. I love these reviews so much. Hey, but Jeff is here. Jeff, he's got your back, Sandro, because he says, he pretty much says what you said, which was, this has to be a money laundering scheme. People who rated this highly are unfamiliar with the Emperor's New Clothes. There's nothing deep here. It's nonsense. Wouldn't even be enjoyable or cohesive while high. Watching this is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what you said.
That's going to be that might actually be 0.5. I'll go with 0.5.
It is 0.5. It is 0.5 for that one.
I forgot to bring this up in the episode. I genuinely do think that elements of this movie being so bad are just the director was just pulling a prank.
Yeah,
I was like, what if I made this really dumb?
But the problem is it's mixed in with poor writing.
Oh, yeah, exactly. 100%.
So it doesn't help it. If it was all done on purpose, it'd be better.
Yeah.
Or if it was all just good, it'd be better.
Maybe it was all done on purpose, but then it was badly all done on purpose.
Yeah, it's just bad. Speaking of bad, it's Justin's take.
Lol.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Justin says, even after 3 watches over the years, I still don't fully understand this movie. And I still love it from beginning to end. A true work of art that came straight from the soul of the visionary that created it.
Sure, why not? I'm gonna say that is a 3.5? I'll go 4.
It's 5 out of 5.
Ah, damn it.
They love this movie. This is a work of true art that came straight from the soul of the visionary that created it, Sandro.
Okay.
Obviously, that's a 5 out of 5.
All right.
Well, look, you've fallen off the horse a bit. Maybe this user will manage to help you out.
He won't.
They didn't have a username, but they said, I find it both shallow and pedantic. 4 stars. Meh. If
it's not 4 stars, I'm going to riot, but I'm going to say it's 4 stars. It better be 4 stars.
Well, actually, it's 3.5.
I was about to say, is it 3.5?
Nah, it's 4 out of 5. It's 4 out of 5.
Boo.
I was just trying to throw you a curveball there.
God damn it.
There you go. It was 4 out of 5. It was 4 out of 5. Mark says, probably the worst thing I've seen The Rock do. Doom, Skyscraper, and G.I. Joe Retaliation. All of them don't even come close to having a worse story.
I strongly disagree. All those movies are boring, and if anyone's saying that this movie is boring, look, I'm not a part of the cult of this movie, but you are wrong. Skyscraper sucks.
Hey, Sandro, I've watched Skyscraper. I might have enjoyed it a little more than this movie, just saying.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mostly, I think it has to do with expectations, you know?
Yeah.
I had poor expectations, whereas Skyscraper had no expectations, so that's fair. I don't know about Doom or G.I. Joe Retaliation, though.
I've seen Doom on TV, and I remember barely paying attention to it and hating it.
Yeah.
But I need to actually sit down and watch it, I think. I'm going to say one.
It's actually 2 out of 5. It's actually 2 out of 5. And finally, the last one. Don't have a username, but they say, I own this on DVD and Blu-ray.
Fucking classic Rotten Tomatoes review. Classic. That's got to be.
I had to include it. You know,
I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah. We've had that like a few times where Rotten Tomatoes people are like, I own this. Thank you for letting us know.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna say that's a 3.5.
It's a 3.5.
Oh my goodness. Crazy.
He got it. Genius. Because I feel like if they own it, right, they must like it, surely.
It's got to be positive if you own it, and 3 is too low if you own it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So it's got to be a 3.5?
But also, if they enjoyed it more than a 3.5, they would have said more.
Yeah, they would have added something, yeah?
Yeah.
You're so right. You got it on the money.
I'm going to guess your one was one of the negative ones.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yours could have been, I own this on DVD. That would have been very funny. But
oh my god, I need to do that at some point. That would be great. That's the ultimate disguise.
I feel like yours is just one of the ones that's like, why does this have a cult following? I think that's your one. The why does this have a cult following? I think that was the first review.
I certainly agree with that one the most. That was the first review that was complaining about the critics and the cult review.
I think that might be yours.
No, that one wasn't me, although that's funny. No, mine was probably the worst thing I've seen The Rock do. Doom, Skyscraper, G.I. Joe, which is unfair on you because I haven't seen Doom or G.I. Joe Retaliation.
That's
I just
very
made
funny.
that the fuck up.
G.I. Joe Retaliation, I don't remember it, but I've seen all 3 of those.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go.
Did you look up worst Rock movies and just put them in?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Although, I was going to say The Scorpion King, but if I mentioned The Scorpion King, I knew you would know that was my one.
I would've
So I was
known.
like, what's just some bad movies of his? I have seen Skyscraper, though, and it was Skyscraper. I don't know what I fucking expected.
Anyway, that is the episode right there. I feel like before we wrap up, we do the next movies. I do some plugs. Before then, I should mention, actually, that, yes, we did watch the Cannes cut. The other cut does have some changes. I should just mention this because people are going to yell at us. All the narration is different. It's got better special effects, apparently. And I think they cut out just a lot of, small character scenes.
I would be certainly down to watch it and then come back and be like, okay, was this one better? Was this one worse? Did I like it? Did I not? You know, just give it a little mini review. I think that'd be cool.
It seems like the whole movie was re-edited, so it'll be very different tonally as well. But Zach, you were talking about how you might want a prequel. I should mention, there is actually a prequel comic.
Whoa.
Prequel comic.
Ooh.
That is called Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, because the movie's Part 4, Part 5, Part 6.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
That's the prequel comic, which you can check out
Interesting.
if you want, but you probably don't want to, because it's probably impossible to find. So anyway.
Yep, that checks out.
But anyway, those are the things that I had to mention, because if I didn't, our YouTube comments would yell at me. And if you want to yell at us in the YouTube comments, go to the link in the episode description. You can also go to everywhere else that we're on. We're on everything, Zach. Review us if you want.
You don't have to, but we would appreciate it.
Yeah, we do appreciate that. It helps get the show out in front of more people. Patreon.com/Oldie Buddy Goodie Pod as well if you want some ad-free episodes. You want some bonus content. Zach, we got a bonus episode coming out on Wednesday.
Oh my god, is it about two horror franchise people that like get together and they have a swell old time?
That's true. Just like those two cars, they get together in a movie together and they fuck up some people's lives.
Yeah, fuck them kids. Am I right, gamers?
Freddy versus Jason on Patreon.
I like it when they get high. Unlike this movie where I felt like I was high.
Yeah, exactly. That's coming out on Patreon. It's the ultimate showdown. We've done some Freddy movies. We've done all the Jason movies. So we're doing the big crossover. And let me just tell you this much. It's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of respect for both the characters, I'll say.
Yeah. That's out on Patreon. Go check it out on Wednesday. And now it's time for the revenge.
So, Speaking of mysteries, speaking of confusing plots, speaking of not knowing what the fuck's going on, Sandra.
That's me.
Sandra.
I'm Sandra. That's me.
You have the option now of picking 3 different movies for next week.
Okay.
3 different movies that have a connection to the movie we have just watched. 3 different movies that cannot have the connection that you used for this one, which was that The Rock was in both movies. So I could not pick a movie that had The Rock in it.
I'm sure you could if you found some weird workaround.
I mean, you could always connect it some other way. And look, maybe The Rock is in one of these movies. I don't know. I didn't really research. Okay. I didn't really read. Maybe The Rock's in it. But I did not use The Rock as a connection. I didn't use any actors as a connection for this movie.
Like, for example, if we had a trilogy of movies and we were like, we want to do the Mummy one, and then you were like, I'm going to do the Mummy 2, and my connection is going to be Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, cool. Now we're doing the Mummy 2. And then I'm like, okay, but I want to do the Mummy 3, and that's now an option. But I can't use the connection of Brendan Fraser. But I can use the connection of, like, some other random actor who's in all the Mummy movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or just, like, a desert movie, right? You could just say, oh, it's another desert movie. It just so happens to be the sequel to this one.
The next one, yeah. We can do workarounds, but you haven't done that. You haven't done that.
I will say that they kind of have the same connection, all 3 of them.
Interesting. Intriguing. I'm very intrigued now.
I went on a theme because I was mad when I got them.
I'm very intrigued.
I was mad. I was upset. But none of these movies I think are bad. I don't think any of these movies are bad. I think all of these movies are pretty good.
All right.
So, Sandro, you have around 3 questions. I'll give you some freebies. I'll give you some free information. I've already given you some free information already. But you can give me some questions about these movies. What questions would you like to ask about these movies?
I liked the broad questions that we were doing for the last 2 episodes.
They were pretty good.
I'm going to ask them again. I'm going to ask you what year and what genre for all 3 of them.
All right. Movie number 1 is from 2024.
Oh, that's new.
That is very new. The second movie is from 2017.
Oh, also new.
And the third movie, you'll be unsurprised to hear that it is from 1989.
89. Ooh, okay.
Which is much further back.
That's a lot further back. Well, I'm already leaning towards bloody the 80s because it's a bloody old movie. And the genres, please, Zachary.
We have sci-fi.
Ooh.
For the first movie.
Yep.
We have sci-fi for the second movie.
Yep.
And we have sci-fi for the third movie.
So the connection is that they're all sci-fi.
No, the connection is that these movies are sci-fi movies. The movie I just watched isn't a sci-fi movie. So I guess this is a bit of a stretch, Sancho. Because the movie...
Is the only connection that these are actual sci-fis?
Maybe.
Or is there more of a different connection? I can't ask you that until we get to it.
You can totally ask me that if you would like. I don't have to answer it. But I'll tell you yes. That is why I picked these films, is because I wanted to watch a sci-fi film.
Very intriguing. All right.
After you tricked me into watching a thriller rom-com comedy.
That was barely a rom-com. It wasn't a rom-com at all. All right.
He had a lot of romance with that porn star.
That wasn't a romance, I'll tell you what. No, it was, because they danced at the end. That was weird. I didn't like that whole dance thing at the end.
And then their wife joined in, and then one guy was like, is this a three-way? And I'm like, what is going on?
I don't know. All right, I'm going to ask you some questions. Now, we've asked some very bland questions on the last couple episodes.
Yeah.
Very interesting questions that would give us actual, real good facts. If you were to pick a color associated with all three of these movies, which color would each movie get?
I'm going to give you, for each of them, I'm going to give you 2 colors. How about that?
Okay. All right. I like this.
So for the first one is like gray and green.
Oh, gray and green
That's for the
2024 sci-fi. All right.
For the second one is red and blue.
So it's Spider-Man. Yep.
And for the last one, it is black and blue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, I like this.
There you go. That was a great question because it was really fun to answer.
It does not at all really help at all.
No, but it's great once we go back and once we review these movies, it'll be great.
I'm going to ask you the question of, have you seen any of these before? And if you have to say which ones you've seen before.
I can tell you, I have not seen any of these films.
Any of these before. Okay, cool.
All three of them I haven't seen. One of them you might be surprised that I haven't seen.
Interesting. And then I guess my last question then probably, I liked the actor question. I liked the actor question a lot.
You can ask it again.
I might ask the actor question a lot because I think that really helped you last week. You didn't answer it for the last one, which is fair enough because James Corden. But
yeah,
I answered it for the last episode, and I think it really was a really good thing. I don't want the main character, but just someone who's in it would be really cool, I think.
There's some options here I have, right? So for number three, the 1989 has Ed Harris.
Yeah. I like him. Mr. Cowboy Man, as I like to call him.
For the first one, Pedro Pascal.
Okay, what has Pedro Pascal done recently?
You're not allowed to look it up. And I have 2 choices to give you for the second one. Both of them. One of them's really funny.
Okay.
Because it will just give you I'm going to give you the wrong one.
Okay.
All right. There's some correct ones to give you right here, but this is a James Corden answer to your one.
Oh no. All right.
Jared Leto.
Oh fuck. I think I know what the 2017 one is. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you can figure it out.
And I've got one more question then, my last question to ask you, which is, how long are these movies? Because we just said Southland Tales, it's very long, and if the 2017 one is how long I think it is, I know exactly what it is.
Shit, yeah, I think you've definitely sleuthed it out. The second one is 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
It's Blade Runner 2?
The first one is 1 hour and 42 minutes.
1 hour 42. Okay, that's a good length.
I give you an exact for that one.
Yep.
And the third one is 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Interesting.
It's rather amusing. I think this is the first time someone's actually been able to figure out the movie.
This is the first time, and it's purely because you're like, this is the wrong one.
Yeah, this is the
wrong actor to give you. So I'm like, okay, so they must barely be in it, and Jared Leto is barely in Blade Runner 2.
And if you look at the posters, it is red and blue.
It is. Blade Runner is red and blue.
Were those good color picks? I'm just saying.
It's a good color pick. Man, now I don't know.
No. This is okay, Sandro, because now you have a choice.
Yeah.
Do you want to take the known option?
Yeah.
Or do you want to take one of the other two off? Because here's the thing, Sandro. I'm going to spoil it. I'd be happy with whatever you picked here because I didn't want to watch a shitty movie after watching that movie.
That's very
so
fair.
I picked 3 sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
The connection being they're actually sci-fi. I want to watch these movies.
Well, Blade Runner is kind of like a dystopia, which is also, like it's just kind of like dystopia sci-fi.
Yeah. That was another connection. I think Blade Runner was the first one I got because I was like, sci-fi, in the future sort of thing.
Yeah.
Originally, my connection was going to be based in the future. And I can tell you that 2 of these movies are based in the future.
Based in the future, okay. I don't know what the I don't know what the 80s one is, and I actually cannot think of a movie that Pedro Pascal has been in this year that isn't Gladiator 2. I actually don't know what that is.
Yeah, I know. I don't give you that one because he's been in so much shit lately that it's impossible. So I was like, oh, that's a freebie. That's a good one to go with.
Do I get any more questions?
You can ask another question. Why not? I'm having fun.
The 2024 movie, is that direct to streaming?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll give you one last question, but only about the third one. If you can think of anything for that one, because I feel like you're focusing on those two. You need to look at this third one, Sandra. What could this one be?
I think I know what the third one is, but I don't know for a fact. I'm like Black and Blue. Like my thoughts for the third one was its Fifth Element because you mentioned it earlier. But you've seen that, I think.
I have seen that. I have seen that many times, so it cannot be that one, Sandro, because I said earlier that I haven't seen any of these.
That's right. Could I, get a director, maybe? Or is that too much information? Because I'd probably be able to figure it out if you give me a director.
The director is James Cameron.
Oh, I know what it is. Because I mentioned because it's probably The Abyss, I reckon, and I wanted to do The Abyss as a connection for Moana. I think I mentioned that last episode. So, interesting. All right. So, the options are Blade Runner, 2, The Abyss, or a potentially really not very good Pedro Pascal sci-fi movie.
I mean, Pedro Pascal's been in some very popular sci-fi stuff lately, Sandro. Did you know about that? It's a little
Star Wars?
Can't be anything to do with that franchise.
I am thinking Blade Runner is a really fun idea, but here's the problem. It's the same length as the movie we just watched.
Yeah. What's the thing? We can always go back to Blade Runner, We
can always go back to Blade Runner. I'm sure we can find another...
There's no rule yet, as we can't give the same movie as another thing. You might need to spruce up the questions. You might need to, dance around with it a bit if you want to keep it a mystery.
No, you know what? I'm doing it. Zach, next week, let's do Blade Runner 2049. I'm picking Blade Runner.
Well, you're picking number 2, Sandro, and you are under the impression... I
am under the impression that it's Blade Runner 2.
That it was Blade Runner 2049.
I am picking the second option because I think it's Blade Runner.
But what if I told you, Sandro, that it was not Blade Runner 2049? No, but it is, though. It definitely was. It definitely was. I wasn't picking any other Jared Leto movie. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me, Chief?
I think it'd be a good one to do considering how recently we watched the first one. So... I think that's a good option.
That's a fun one. And you were right. It was The Abyss. I knew James Cameron was going to give it away. But, it was funny because James Cameron was kind of a thing on my mind at the time. I was like, oh, yeah, we talked... I think you mentioned James Cameron earlier, and I'm like,
Yeah, I mentioned it because in Moana, when the water comes out, the water, when it's a character, looks like the sentient water in The Abyss.
Yes, and... I haven't seen The Abyss, but I looked it up and I'm like, hey, The Abyss looks good. And that's definitely black and blue, wouldn't you say?
100% black and blue. What the fuck is gray and green? I genuinely don't know what this movie is.
It's a very new movie. It just came out. There was a lot of advertising for it. I think you can think about this one. Come on.
Pedro
it's a
Pascal.
sci-fi movie. It just came out.
I'm blanking. I'm blanking here.
I'll give you a little hint. It's an animated movie.
The Wild Robot?
It is The Wild Robot.
Fuck, I want to watch that.
Yeah, see? And that was gray and green.
True. I feel like out of all of those, Blade Runner tonally works as a connection. And the others are, they're kind of just sci-fis.
Well, here's the thing. The Wild Robot's kind of post-apocalyptic. It's in the future. It's going to... it's kind of.
Kind of.
I don't know. By the looks of it, it kind of looks post-apocalyptic because it's like a beat-up robot in a nature. It reminds me of WALL-E, which was post-apocalyptic. The Abyss was just a sci-fi. It involves water, actually, and there was water in the movie. It was the Karma,
This is correct.
You can hit that one with a bit of a stretch if you want.
I think it's only a stretch if I pick it, though. I don't know.
No, but that one was definitely a bit of a stretch.
I feel like Blade Runner isn't a stretch. I actually don't think Blade Runner is a stretch. So, hell yeah.
No. Blade Runner and The Wild Robot, I had firmly in these are based in the future camps. The Abyss was not. The Abyss was, I was trying to find, because I originally had some other movie instead of The Abyss, but it was another like 2014 movie or something. And I was like, I need an option that's in the 90s.
Yeah, like an older one, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I needed something just in case you felt tantalized by dipping into the abyss, you know?
I would have loved to, but I think Blade Runner's a good idea. You haven't seen it. I've been wanting to rewatch it ever since rewatching Blade Runner, so let's do it. Next week, what are we doing, Zach?
We're doing Blade Runner 2049.
Man, I can't wait to use Ryan Gosling as a connection.
Oh no, what have I done? No, you're going to use Jared Leto as your connection.
We could do Morbius. That'd be very funny.
I have watched Morbius multiple times.
You have.
So.
I don't ever want to watch it again. So
I watched it as a drinking game with friends, and it was very enjoyable in that way.
All right, well, that is the whole episode, and thank you so much for listening, and see you next time for more Who's a Synth, Who's Not a Synth, Who's a Replicant, Who's Jared Leto. Who is he?
It's in real life, he's a replicant. I believe it.